Free plays galore in Major League Baseball for Monday, June 30th, coming right up. The final day of the month.
Yes.
A special treat. More free plays today than usual, Mark Zinno, as we are going to be joined by a very special guest. The Morning Wager expanding, building, only getting bigger.
That's what we're here for. The size and the immense quality of this program continues to astound people. So much so that other people have wanted a piece. They want in, and we're going to let them. So, Basically, I forgot to mention, again, once you do a very good job at burying the lead, we actually had a 3-0 Friday. We actually had to
get to that, but, I want to let the people know what's up first, what's coming up.
Yeah, I mean, you get very confused around the formatics of this thing because you've heard different things, whether we're supposed to tell them what's up or we're supposed to have a catchy intro or whatever. But, yeah, you're doing a very good job.
The only thing I know is that we're not supposed to tell the people about the discussions about what we're supposed to be saying.
Oh.
That I do know. That's supposed to be like left to the off-air part, and we just
keep getting the /admin part.
Yes, yes. We did have a good Friday show. Broke out the broom for the 3-0 sweep. We don't show the broom anymore, of course, because that was bad luck. A couple things. I mentioned the show only getting bigger, better, growing the show. You know what they say about the Morning Wager? Zinno?
It's probably the second most popular podcast in America right now.
Well, I heard it's number one, but it's a nice size, is what they say. Go get as far as getting bigger and better.
Good size.
It's a nice size, but remember, I'm being told that no one is actually.
Now we know Dan's back. Now we know how Dan's back. The lower third just comes in with random insults.
Yes. Now, in all seriousness, though, this is very true, and many people have said this because, again, it is fact. The Morning Wager is now available on all major podcasting platforms, from iHeart, Apple, to Spotify. We've already toppled Joe Rogan. Now it's just about setting records in the podcasting community, really, is what it is.
We've already toppled Joe Rogan. No one has ever said that.
Please click subscribe. It does keep the content free.
No, it doesn't.
It does. All right, we went 3-0 on the show on Friday. Mark Zinno, don't look now, but you're on a bit of a heater. You had a very good week last week, I believe. I was looking at wt.buzz/MZ, and I believe, if I can count correctly, I was not a math major at Ohio University, but if I can count correctly, it looked like you were 8-3-1 over the last 7 days.
We had nowhere to go but up. So thank God June is over today because it was not kind to us. But we are back. Feel good. I feel like we're locked back in on the board, and I think it's starting to turn back to normalcy, which is good. So started with a $5 play right last week, which we'll have $5 Tuesday tomorrow, and we just kind of carried through the week there. So thank you for noticing. It means that you care about me and I care about you, and I appreciate that about you.
Oh, well, thank you, and you're welcome. It has been a very good June, quite frankly, for yours truly, except for Sunday. We went 0-2 on Sunday. Our first 0-2 in quite some time. Sorry about that to anyone who's on board. We are still up over 60 units since May 24th. However, I'll take that any day of the week, including Monday. Now, it is Monday, June 30th, and we have some free plays for you, Mark. Let's get started here. Your half of the double play here is going to be on the A's and Rays. That rhymes.
Very good. I'm glad that you understand how rhymes work. Wasn't really expecting that sort of lead in, that A's and Rays rhyme. Okay. Anyway, I actually saw the A's live yesterday. I went to the Yankee game. If you follow me on Twitter, I took a very contrarian nerfy yesterday with Marcus Stroman and Luis Severino on the mound against Aaron Judge and everything else. And we cashed a nerf. We cashed Athletics over 4.5. Those weren't client plays. I was just having fun at the ballpark, and I tweeted them out. So, and oh, by the way, I've taken my kids to Yankee Stadium 3 years in a row now. All 3 years, Aaron Judge has hit a home run in the game. So next year, when I go back, I'm going to bet Aaron Judge to hit a home run in a game that I go to with my kids.
Is this going to be the new BP under streak? The Mark Zinno, Aaron Judge homer streak?
Well, it's technically Zinno's kids' Aaron Judge home run streak. Oh. I've been to quite a few games where Aaron Judge hasn't homered. So, nonetheless, I'm going to see the Yankees and Braves in Atlanta coming up right after the All-Star break. So, I will be quite what's the proper word?
Well traveled.
Have a good time. We got those.
Are there any other vacation plans in the Zinno family you'd like to let us know about today?
Yeah, show back on the rails. Okay, A's and Rays because they rhyme. Here we go. Drew Rasmussen, as Bryan Power will tell you, I like Drew Rasmussen. Okay.
Only Rays starter I like.
Only starter I like. Only Rays starter I want to back. Look, I know the Athletics are a better scoring team on the road. And even yesterday, things kind of fell off the rails a little bit for the Yankees. It probably should have been as close as 12-5. But the A's were able to push them across here against some Marcus Stroman fading and bad bullpen decisions by Aaron Boone because he sucks. Nonetheless, I think Rasmussen does a good job at keeping the Athletics in control here. This is a guy who's got a 2.16 home ERA. Opposing hitters are batting just $1.95 against him at home. And his K rate at home much higher than that on the road. So Rasmussen is a trustworthy starter that we can back here. Now, Jacob Lopez, who starts for the A's. Tampa Bay still struggles against lefties. They were god-awful for the first 2 months of the year. They've obviously picked it up. They've had an amazing June. But I think, as Bryan Power would say, well, I think that comes to an end. I think that it's going to start to turn here. I think the Rays' amazing bats in June will start to go cold a little bit, as we saw a little bit against the Orioles series, where in 2 of the 3 games, they couldn't push any runs across. Lopez's numbers, 3.56 ERA on the year, even his 4.50 ERA on the road this year, a little misleading. He was a reliever, turned starter. He's made 7 starts. He's had 1 bad start, and it came on the road against Toronto. He gave up 7 runs in an inning and 2/3. Other than that, he even shut down the Tigers last time out on the road. Went 7 shutout baseball and gave up only 3 hits. So I think there's a starter here we can back. We'll take him early. We don't want the A's bullpen involved in anything because it's not good, like really not good. Actually, like the worst bullpen in baseball. So we'll go under 4.5. There's some juiced 4.5s out there. There's also a 4 if you would like to be a little less juice tolerant, but we'll go A's, Rays, first 5 under.
All right, there you heard it from the man. First 5 under 4.5 for the A's and Rays, which does in fact rhyme. Smash that like button if you agree on the play. Of course, there's really no disputing the fact that the 2 teams' nicknames rhyme. Orioles and Rangers does not rhyme, Mark Zinno, but that is the matchup I am going to talk about for my half of the double play. And I think there's a solid case to be made, sir, for the under in this matchup. Texas, as a matter of fact, is the number 1 under team in all of baseball this season. If you bet all Rangers games under this season, you would be 54-29-1. And if you did it at home, only in home games, 30-12-1 to the under here in Arlington. Why is that? Well, the Rangers are scoring just 3.5 runs per game at home. That's second fewest number of runs scored at home in all of MLB. But at the same time, they allow only 2.9 runs per game at home. That's the fewest number of runs allowed at home in all of MLB. We've got an all-lefty starting pitching matchup here. That only strengthens the case for the under. Why? Because both the Rangers and Orioles are bottom 5 in WRC+, not a made-up stat, against lefties this season. Plenty of reasons to expect a low-scoring game here, but, and we talked about this before we went on air, Zinno, the money line caught my eye here. I don't believe, even though Baltimore, as you mentioned, had the good weekend series against Tampa Bay, I don't think the O's should be favorites on the road here. I make Texas minus 130, even with Corbin on the mound. I understand Corbin was on the wrong end of a 6-0 final against Baltimore just last week, and that was starting opposite Trevor Rogers, who goes again today for the Orioles. But I'm confident enough in those power ratings to think that the Rangers probably do well here. But as I laid out, the case for the under is pretty sound. So where do I land after all of this? What is the bet for tonight's series opener? How about Orioles? Team total under 4.5. The Rangers aren't going to win this game unless if they hold the O's bats in check. So there you have it. Smash that like button if you agree.
There is nothing like Bryan Power playing on Patrick Corbin to keep a team under 4.5 runs.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I know.
It sounds fun. And again, comment down below with your favorite bets for Monday here, as we always enjoy seeing those.
Do something that we've never done before here. The first time ever. Morning Wager.
That is truly saying something because we have done a lot over the last 14 months. All right. As promised at the open, we have a guest. Yes, the Morning Wager is expanding. People actually are willing to join us on this program. That is how popular this show has got. And we are being joined, as luck would have it, by one of the true superstars of the sports betting industry. You can, of course, catch her every Saturday here on WagerTalk's own YouTube channel on Last Call. I was on with her on Saturday. It was the first time we ever spoke, as a matter of fact, and it was a great time. And she's lived to tell the story, as a matter of fact. But of course, you can also catch her on the Prop Queen pod. She is the one and only prop queen herself, the one and only Ariel Epstein, now joining the morning wager. Ariel, thank you so much for the time.
Not only did we drag her out of bed early, she's here just being part of the whole show. And Bryan Power, you told me that you guys said to each other, we know a lot of the same people, but we've never spoken.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much how things work in this industry. I was racing to get on air. I would only do this for you guys because with my new 4.5, well, now 5-month-old puppy, mornings are really hard for me to like get on air.
I highly recommend the backyard with a dog. I will say that. It's great. You just let the dog roam. And
she lives in the city.
Rub it into the city folk. City people who have to go outside with our dogs. We don't have the same, but that's why. And it's funny because my friend said, who lives here in New York, she said, so what are we doing this weekend for 4th of July? I said, what do you mean? I'm going to my parents' house in the suburbs. I'm going to utilize their backyard and not walk my dog for 3 days. That's what I'm doing for the 4th of July.
Technically, you're not utilizing the backyard. The dog is utilizing the backyard.
Hey, there's a pool that's gorgeous back there, so I utilize it pretty well.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Well, listen, thank you for coming. We dragged you out of bed this morning. You are our first ever guest. As soon as we open this aperture, I said we have to have Ariel on first because she's the best at what she does. And we have a lot of fun here on the show, and we wanted to make you part of it. So thank you for coming.
Oh my gosh, thanks guys. It's an honor to be the first. And I'm glad that me and BP got it out of our system talking for the first time on Saturday.
Yes, lots of fun. Real quick, before we get your play here, because you're going to give us part of our show bets here. Give the folks here just a kind of little bit of open the aperture a little bit on how you kind of dissect the prop, where you find edges and value. I texted you yesterday about a prop. It didn't hit, of course. Nonetheless,
I'm sorry. You texted me on like the one day that I wasn't working. I was like, I need one day. Saturday now that I do last call and I do the newsletter in the morning. So on Sundays, I'm like, no, I need one day off. So Zinno, of course, I'm like, there's 6 days a week I work, and Zinno texts me like the one day.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels that way, Ariel. That hey, I need some time off. And Zinno's texting me.
Texts me when I'm not working for like he gives me like 15 props sometimes, and I'm like, Zinno, it's like Sunday morning on a non-football Sunday at 8 a.m. I don't know.
It's 8
go to bed
in the morning, but 8's aggressive. I don't bother at 8. I have
go
kids.
To bed.
When you have kids, you never go to bed. You have a dog, you should know that.
No, I don't sleep. So the way I find prop edges is not sleeping. I'm just kidding. So in baseball in particular, because that's the season we're in Major League Baseball, I have the strikeout prop spreadsheet where I have every single lineup in baseball tracked with every strikeout prop in baseball since opening day. And I could tell lefty-righty splits, which I think is the biggest difference of finding an edge. The sports books, what I've noticed through the last 5-6 years that I've been really owning the strikeout prop market, they only really look at overall like starting pitching averages of their strikeout props. Where you really find an edge is a team like the Texas Rangers, who the Rangers lefty-righty splits, they're averaging about a strikeout. I'll get you the exact numbers. So the Rangers are averaging a strikeout more against lefty starters than righties, which is huge because that's where that edge is. So I always like to look at those kinds of splits. This is like the common misconception in strikeout props in particular. It's not about the pitcher as much as it's about the lineup that they're facing. So that's also, and I do that in the NFL, I do that in the NBA. People always look to the subject. They look to the player that they're betting on. Sometimes it's more about the defense or whoever's on the other side than it is about the individual player themselves, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So you do have a prop for us, obviously, here today, and is one of Mark Zinno's favorite pitchers. I understand that Ariel will be talking about Carlos Rodon. Do you have anything you'd like to say over-under-wise about Carlos Rodon, Zinno, before we go? Or are you going to be on your best behavior here?
I'll be on my best behavior. I'm not.
Listen, if you don't like Rodon, that's fine. I'm taking the under. So
I generally don't like anything about the Yankees these days. So.
Well, I like Rodon to go under his 5.5K prop. Again, we talk lefty-righty splits. Well, the Toronto Blue Jays just don't strike out against anybody. especially against lefties. 12 of the 19 lefties that faced Toronto went under their strikeout prop. 9 of the last 10 went under 5.5. Rodon's faced 3 low K rate teams against lefties. He had 5 against Arizona, 5 against San Diego, and 5 against the Mets. So again, 5.5 is going to be tough, but when you're on the road and you're facing a low K rate team, and it's the first road game nonetheless, because the Yankees were home yesterday. Not that the travel to Toronto was that bad, but I would be looking at the under for Rodon 5.5 Ks.
All right.
Is that Marley?
Yep, Marley just came under my feet, and I have to watch her. And I usually don't let her in here, but you said it was only 10 minutes, so I'm not going to crate her. But I gave her a bone, so now she's at my feet with the bone. The problem is that there are a lot of wires in here, and she's a chewer. So I need to make sure, but she's got the bone, so we're good. I stuffed cookies in these like little, like this bone for her.
Regular cookies? Or like
what?
dog cookies? Regular cookies or dog?
Like treats.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you
like
said
dog treats. I'm not an idiot.
I didn't say you were an idiot.
I was trying to like get like the freaking like animal, like what is it called? Like the animal like people that come and like take your dog away. Yeah. You're trying to get them on me. That's great.
Listen, for the record, I stuff cookies and everything my kids eat. So there you go. I mean, it still works for humans.
Exactly.
And yet you lecture me on what I like to eat.
Well, it changes when you like hit puberty.
Excuse me. I didn't get that memo. I still eat Taco Bell every day. All right. Anyway, smash that like button if you agree on Carlos Rodon under his strikeout props. Correct me. Yes, Dan, that was unnecessary. Okay, that was unnecessary. All right. So what? So I still like Mountain Dew. Yeah, it's terrible for you. Okay, there's a lot of things that are terrible for you. All right. Want to know a story about the healthiest eater I know, Dan? Hit by a bus. There you go. It's not true.
That's nice.
No,
see, I'm not coming
that's
on
not
here
true.
anymore.
I'm sorry.
It is not even 10 a.m. I haven't even had my coffee yet. And BP is saying you could try as hard as you want, but you're going to die anyway.
Yes, thank you.
That's what Joe Mazzulla said, I believe. I'm only quoting him.
Isn't it supposed to be called Motivational Monday?
No, we don't believe in that here at the Morning Major.
No,
Ariel, tell everybody where it's exactly. Welcome to the Morning Major, where chaos reigns supreme. Tell everybody where they can get your newsletter, where they can go sign up and do all the good stuff.
Yeah, if you subscribe to thepropqueen.com and you sign up for premium or basic premium, you get 2 newsletters a day. So you get the morning newsletter where you get like that early edge on lines. And the basic will get the afternoon newsletter only. Premium gets both. You also get access to that MLB prop spreadsheet that I was talking about. And then the Prop Queen Pod, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday, usually. But, it's like I try to explain to everybody, it's not a pick selling service or anything. You guys could do that here at WagerTalk. But for my newsletter, it's more, I always had a long list. And every time I was so pissed because I would come on a show like this, I'd go on my own shows, and I would leave out some props, and then the ones I give out lose, and then the long list props that I left off the card end up hitting. I said, why am I doing this when I could just give out my long list to everybody, and everybody could just choose for themselves what they want to bet? But if you go to my Pick It Sports account at Ariel Epstein, you'll see what I actually bet. But I like to give out my long list because I don't always cut down my card correctly, but I might handicap the card correctly, just not cut down I might choose the wrong bets. So if you go to the Prop Queen newsletter at thepropqueen.com, then you could see my long list and you could choose for yourself and see if you choose better than me from my long list.
All right. Well, I think we chose very well for our very first guest. Yes. Smash that like button if you agree on Rodon under 5.5. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ariel. Just one last question. Toronto, a big reason for their uptick in success here in 2025 is they're striking out just in general. They were one of the high K rate teams last year. I felt like Toronto was always the team, guys in scoring position, 2 outs, and the guy would strike out to end the inning. But this year, as you mentioned, they're a low K rate team.
Last year against righties, they were a lower K rate, but lefties, they struck out a bit more. They were a little more average against lefties last season. But this year, it's just extremely low. Last year, they averaged overall 4.3, which is pretty low for starters. This is just starters. This has nothing to do with bullpens. This year now it's 4.1, but the lefties, last year, lefties averaged 4.8 strikeouts a game against the Jays, and this year, 3.9. So it's a pretty big drop off.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you,
Ariel. Thanks, guys. Good luck today.
We'll see you soon. Twice in 3 days. You can. Unbelievable, Ariel. Yeah. All right. Thank you. All right. That's Ariel Epstein, the prop queen.
Like the old man in Indiana Jones said, you chose wisely. Remember
His
that?
father, right?
No, the
Sure.
old man inside the cave when they found the Grail, when they're choosing the Grail.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The guy
It's been a
who
while.
died, he chose poorly.
I never know where you're coming at with these movie quotes, to be honest with you.
So that was fun. It was a good.
It
It was a good, I think we did well there. I'm proud of us.
Smash that like button if you want more guests on the Morning Wager. Comment down below with which guests. Yeah, spoiler alert, you're going to get them whether you want it or not. But comment which guests you would like on the program, and be within reason.
Yes.
All right.
Maybe we'll have the second most popular podcaster, Joe Rogan, come on the show.
And he can say, I am passing the crown to you guys officially.
How does it feel to be second, bitch?
Oh, wow.
Oh, we got to do that.
Doing that. No, I'm not doing that. I dealt with him yesterday. I was on a boat with him yesterday. All he was doing was telling me how the Dolans need to sell the Guardians. It was
I want to talk to your dad.
No, we're not having him on the show. All right.
We got a bet for you guys. You're going to hate it.
Oh, we do. Our best bet. It's a best bet. That's right. Obviously, just the fact that we had a guest on does not mean we're not going to still give you a best bet here on the show. Let's turn to the NL West. I'm going to talk about this game more on WagerTalk today later with Andy Lang. So I'll let you give the breakdowns. Why we like this. We like the D-backs at plus money against the Giants. Look, both teams are struggling right now. I get that Logan, the Giants have the pitching edge here, but the Giants should not be favored like this. And the market agrees because the Giants have been bet down so far all morning. I think the value is on the D-backs in a battle of two NL West teams that have gone cold here at the end of the month.
Yeah, look, I mean, first let's start with San Fran. Look, they're starting Logan Webb, who may be analytically one of the top 5 pitchers in all of baseball. Despite what his overall record is, the numbers are there. He's got the second lowest FIP behind Tariq Skubal. His expected ERA is way lower than his regular ERA. Like, all this stuff is out there for you guys to view, but Logan Webb's having a really good year. You talk about the Giants. Offense is absolutely putrid. Like, one of the pushes I had on Saturday was against the White Sox. I was smart enough to lay the juice and say Giants first 5 money line and not lay the half run because why? It was 0-0 at the end of 5 with Robbie Ray on the mound. And I was so thankful that I was smart enough to do that because I remember saying to myself, the Giants can't score. It is pathetic how bad this offense is. They are bottom 3 in batting average the entire month of June. When you talk about them in terms of runs scored, they're bottom 5 in runs scored. Like, this is just not a team that's hitting right now. Ryan Nelson, who starts for Arizona, has got just a 2.25 ERA at home this year. Opposing hitters batting just 207, only giving up 1 home run. He's 3-1 at home this year, and he's won all 3 of his starts. He did have one appearance, he had a couple of appearances actually as a relief pitcher. So this is a guy that we want to back at home here against a bad Giants lineup. This is similar profiles, BP, to what we did when we took the Orioles against the
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The Giants are kind of the better team here, and they're favored, but this is too much of a price here where they probably are too heavy of or too short of a favorite against a team that's not doing well. Giants just got swept by the Marlins at home, need a win. I'm sorry. D-backs just got swept by the Marlins at home.
Both of them did.
No, I think the Giants took 1. Didn't they take 1 out of 3 from the White Sox?
No, the Giants got swept by the Marlins before the Marlins have just swept both these teams.
Right. Okay.
Remember, we talked about this. The Marlins are swimming upstream. On Friday. We talked about that.
I can't believe you said that again. Anyway, the profile's the same as the Orioles when we took them. It was on Friday when we did it as part of our 3-0 sweep. So we're going to take the D-backs here to snap their losing streak and beat the Giants.
All right.
By the way, can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Be nauseated at the fact that we included the Arizona bullpen in this thing because they're god-awful.
Giants do have an edge in the bullpen. Yes, they do have an edge in the bullpen. But, hey, stranger things have happened. It's baseball.
My kid's Little League team is an edge in the bullpen over the D-backs.
Oh, okay. That's certainly not something that was on my format sheet or in my stats. I'll have to incorporate those numbers. Guys, Mark told you at the outset, he's picking up steam. It was a good last 7 days. If you want to get on board him the next 7 days, you can. 4th of July blowout special. It's right there on his page, wt.buzz/MZ. You do the same with me for the next 7 days. Also, I still have a rest of the year special. It was a great first 6 months at WagerTalk. We were number 2 in net profit for the year. I would like to get to number 1, Mark Zinno. That is a goal of mine.
I believe
you can. Well, thank you for your vote of confidence. You can get the next 6 months of plays, every sport from yours truly for one low price at WT.buzz/BP. I would implore you to get on board. All right. Is there anything else, sir, that you want to talk about? This was a tight 25 minutes that we did today.
By watching this show, you have chose wisely.
I don't know. I don't know what that went over my head, actually.
Again, Indiana Jones, Last Crusade.
Oh, I'm sorry.
God.
Dude, I watched the movie 25 years ago.
I have to work in every day.
I watched the movie 25 years ago. What do you want me to say? I'm supposed to remember that?
I just referenced it 5 minutes ago.
I had already forgotten. All right. Remember to click subscribe. It does keep the content free. Zinno?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay. All right, everybody. We will be back tomorrow with some more free plays. Bye. Whatever, it's fun. Until next time, let's cash the ticket.
Chances high or low.